They say men don't process pain. That we shove it down, drink it quietly, bury it in routine. But I process mine. I plan mine. Revenge isn't rage. It's architecture. And I built every step of mine like I was laying blueprints for her downfall. Her name was Tessa. My wife. My tether. My ruin. We met in a publishing house downtown. Her in acquisitions, me on the digital side. She had a laugh like she didn't need anyone, and that made everyone want her. Smart, warm. Killer instinct when she needed it. She edited the stories. I built the platforms. And I gave her 5 years of my life. The problem wasn't that she cheated. The problem was that she made me doubt my own mind for a year before I found out. It started with little things. Late meetings. More makeup. Secret smiles to her phone. I asked once, lightly, about her being distracted. She called me insecure. Said I was projecting. I started thinking I was. When I found the receipt, 2 wine glasses, a hotel downtown, I didn't confront her. I did something worse. I played the role. I stayed soft, kind, curious. I made her feel safe enough to get comfortable with lying. I let her believe I was dumb enough to not notice. That was her mistake. He was a senior editor, Jason Keller. Mid-40s, gym fit, fake modesty, the kind of man who touches a woman's elbow when he speaks to her in a room full of people. They thought they were careful. They weren't. I cloned her phone. Installed software on our home router to log every keystroke when she was on our Wi-Fi. I watched them make plans. Joke about me. Jason called me the roommate. She laughed. She said I was too fragile to know the truth. I said nothing. But I started building. I gathered evidence. Not for court, no. For leverage. Screenshots. Audio recordings. Their little game of gaslighting me into thinking I was the problem. Then I made moves at work. Quiet ones. You see, Jason had a past, 2 HR complaints buried under confidential settlements. I paid for access. His ex-assistant. She had stories. I funded her legal consult. Then I submitted my resignation. With a curated exit memo sent to the board. Jason was fired 3 weeks later. Pattern of misconduct. Tessa found out the next morning. She panicked. Said she didn't know about that side of him. I stared at her for a long time. Then I asked, "Do you know about your own?" She went quiet. That's when I slid the manila envelope across the table. Photos, messages, call logs. A printed quote, "He's sweet but boring. He won't fight back." She didn't cry. Not at first. Just cracked. "I thought you'd fall apart," she whispered. "I did," I said. Then I put myself back together sharper. I gave her 2 weeks to move out. In the meantime, I sold the house without telling her. It was under my name anyway. The buyout funds? I put them into a real estate firm I'd started with a former client. Low profile, high yield. I wasn't just ending things. I was upgrading. By the time she left, I had already ghosted the mutual friends. Told my side once, quietly, truthfully. People drifted from her. Not because I asked. Because people recognize a story when they've seen the villain before. It's been a year. I live in a different city now. I date, occasionally. But I don't bleed in front of anyone anymore. Last month, I got a message on a throwaway social media account. "I'm sorry. I miss you. We were broken. But you didn't deserve what I did. Tessa." I didn't reply. Instead, I forwarded to her new employer's ethics hotline. Along with the record she thought I deleted. Not out of spite. Out of principle. She thought I was made of glass. She didn't realize glass cuts both ways. Update, 6 months later. The message came on a Wednesday morning, right after I finished deadlifting at 6:43 a.m. "I forgive you." No name. Just that. A new number. Local. Unsaved. But I knew who it was. "Forgive me." That was her first move. I ignored the message. She didn't stop. A coffee order showed up at my office 3 days later. Black with a splash of oat milk, just how I used to drink it back when we split Sundays reading in bed. The cup had a smiley face drawn on the lid. That same old heart-shaped loop in the Y. Subtle, familiar. Meant to feel benign. but the smell made my stomach turn. I started seeing reminders. An old photo of us, mailed anonymously, no return address. Torn down the middle, but my side was untouched. A letter slid under my apartment door. Just 2 words, typed. Glass cuts. It wasn't rage. It wasn't love. It was unsettling precision. That was always Tessa's skill, turning affection into a scalpel. I dismantled her life. She was rebuilding. And now, she wanted to crawl inside my head. I hired a private investigator. Not for protection, information. I needed to know where she worked, who she talked to, what she wanted. Turns out she'd landed at a startup run by a guy who didn't vet backgrounds. She was going by TJ now, shorter, colder, gender ambiguous, smart. She was in a different apartment. Had a cat. Still drove the same black hybrid. And more importantly, she'd been asking about me. To old contacts. People I didn't even know she remembered. A woman I dated casually, Maya, ghosted me mid-conversation one night. I found out later she'd received an anonymous email. Screenshots from years ago. Nothing damaging, just curated to look suspicious. There was no trace. No digital signature. Nothing for the police to act on. But the message was clear. I can still reach you. That's when I stopped playing defense. I wrote her a letter, printed, hand-delivered to her office in an envelope marked legal notice to guarantee it reached her hands. Inside? A photo of her sitting on her fire escape 3 nights ago, unaware, alone. On the back, I wrote, "You taught me that glass cuts. But you forgot, I learned to sharpen it too." The resolution, for now, the messages stopped. The packages. The shadows. The whispers. Gone. But it doesn't feel like victory. Not really. Because now I watch windows more closely. I change routes. I sleep lighter. I didn't just destroy what we had. I created a version of her that mirrors me. The war is quiet now. But quiet doesn't mean peace. It means patience. And I've learned to wait.